Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode. I am Michael Petrow, and on the show this week, last show of 2022. I don't have any real gripes about 2022. This is not the place to put them, even if I did. And I'm not a big fan of this gray week that people are now coining the week between Christmas and New Year's. Like, I don't like the impending doom of a New Year's, because it means you've got to send this year off with a bang and start next year with a bang. And I prefer to wake up next year at around noon and pretend like nothing fucking happened. So I'm not the New Year's Eve type of guy, so you won't have some big New Year's Eve send-off from us here at the show, because I'm in control of the intro. So with that being said, this week on the show, ladies and gentlemen, is our last bit of Christmas programming for you. We wanted to sneak one more in on this week's episode. You've got me, Mark Cowell, Rob Strachan. It's not one person. Mark Cowell, Rob Strachan, and me are three different people. Although if you melded us together, I'm sure that would be something you'd want to put on a Tinder profile. Probably not. Okay. Anyways, on the show this week, we've got Who's Your Scrooge? Previous Real Talk, we did Who's Your Grinch? Who was the best actor to portray the Grinch on screen? Now we've got a bigger selection to choose from. Who is your favorite Scrooge? Is it Scrooge McDuck? Is it Alistair Sims in the original Christmas Carol? Is it Michael Caine in the Muppets Christmas Carol? Who puts on the top hat and acts like a curmudgeonly old man the best? Then we've got what on-screen family would you want to spend time with during the holidays? Examples being the McAllisters, the Addams family, the Manson family. What family do you feel would be a family that you would feel good with around the Christmas tree, around the dinner table, so on and so forth? And then lastly, what's your favorite Christmas special? You know, every Christmas someone makes a new special, like Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas this year, or a classic like me and Mark like, which is the Mickey's Christmas Carol that came on every weekend before or at Christmas, Sunday at 6 o'clock or Saturday at 6. I can't remember what time it was, but Mickey's Christmas Carol holds a very special spot in both Mark and mine's hearts. So that's what's on the show. That's who's on the show. We got lots of fun stuff planned for you in 2023, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to do more live events. After 5 years, it'll be 5 years at the end of this year. After 5 years, we might have a merch portal for you in 2022. I've been on the phone with some really cool Canadian ones. And we already have an American one. That's very good for American people because the shipping is really cheap. But to get it across the border sucks major donkey dick. So we will hopefully have in 2023 more live events, more dumbassery out in the public in some way, shape, or form, new styles of episodes. We would love to hear from you. If you have something that you want to put on the show, leave a voicemail for us. Link in our bio on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Lets you record up to 5 minutes of a request, idea, comment on the show. It's on all of our social media, so go do that. And then also, what was I saying? 2023. Oh, yeah. A merch store, a merch portal, if you will, for our Canadian listeners, because there's no way that we feel comfortable charging you $35 for freight on a $20 t-shirt. That's just highway robbery. So that's what you can look forward to on The Real Debaters in 2023. I have nothing else for you, but Happy New Year, kids. Have a great weekend. I hope your 2022 was awesome. This is where I keep my promise and say I don't go long on this New Year's Eve bullshit. With that being said, I will cue that reel, and you enjoy the last show of 2022. Happy New Year. All right, where's the reel? There's the reel. All right, shut up. Bye.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet. 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everyone, to the official space section of the chart.
What's the truth? You can't handle the truth. Sir, you're out of order. Out of order. I show you out of order.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Real Debaters podcast. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the place that asks that question. What happens when real life meets real life? I'm one of your hosts, Michael Petrow.
I'm Lilu Dallas.
Lilu, multipass, over in the corner.
Mark Cowell with you today.
Hello, Lilu.
Mike, have you actually considered, like, maybe, what's your middle name?
Stanley.
Ooh, see, have you considered like a Hunter S. Thompson vibe, like a Michael S. Petrow?
I've thought about it.
I think that's got a nice ring to it.
I just have nothing prolific, like Hunter S. Thompson might say, to offer the world. So.
How about like Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
That's, again, I have nothing to offer the acting world like Michael J. Fox.
Well, you could give us an S.
Okay.
You have a Family Tie-esque.
Michael S. Petrow Esquire.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds
it's got
like.
a nice rhyme.
No, you can't add the Esquire. You're not a lawyer.
It works with only longer names like Michael.
You do need the two
or
syllable.
If it was Robert.
Yeah,
it doesn't work with Rob
you
or
need
Mark.
2+ syllables.
Yeah.
Christopher. Yeah. See, then the
What's your middle name?
Alan.
So Mark Allen Cowell. Yeah, see, that doesn't have
You sound like your name sounds like a superhero alias.
Sounds like you're changing a phone booth.
That would be cool.
You're like one of the names the guy in Catch Me If You Can used.
Random one-syllable name.
No. He always chose the alias of different superheroes.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Interesting.
Because Tom Hanks is sitting in a coffee shop and he's looking at the different names that he's using, and the guy goes, "Oh, you're a comic book fan." He goes, "Comic book fan?" He goes, "Oh, well, so and so is the Flash."
Yeah, Barry Allen. That's right. Oh my God, I didn't put that together.
Correct.
Let's start the show. So, listener, you're in for a treat this week.
Haven't we already started the show?
Oh, we have.
This is the banter that everyone loves.
This is the banter they come for.
So this week you got another Christmas episode, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Real Talk number 2 for the month. We are we're turning it up a notch here. We've got 3 questions we've asked each other this week. First one is, if there was a family that you could see yourself spending time with at Christmas time, who would it be? What's the family on screen that's most likely your family in real life?
Or the one that you would rather have as your family.
That's all of them.
The one that you look at, you're like,
I wish. If my Christmas this year, I would like that family to replace this family. And then we're going to move on to what's your favorite Christmas special. Is it an episode of television? Is it an actual yearly Christmas special? Is it the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, right? It's any special episode of TV or film that specifically gets into the holiday spirit. Lastly, we will follow up with who is your Grinch. We did who is your Scrooge? Last Real Talk, we did who is your Grinch. This one is who is your Scrooge. So what actor do you think played
Mr.
the best
Grinch
version of that old grumpy bastard? Without further ado, let's kick it off. Let's get into the world of film. Let's step off this mortal coil. Rob, what'd you watch this week?
I did not watch a film. I watched a TV show.
What's the show?
I watched the first 2 episodes of National Treasure on Disney Plus.
Oh, Coke. So?
Because I have like a soft spot for Nicolas Cage movies, and I love National Treasure. I like anything where they're like solving puzzles and
me
kind of
too.
has like
So
an
do I.
archaeological slant and stuff. I love
It's
that
Indiana
shit.
Jones in you.
Yeah, and I was always mad that they never made the 3rd installment of that movie, even though the plan was, and it kind of just never came to fruition.
It's got a little bit of a heartbeat right now.
The show's okay. It's
Where is it? What's that? Where
it's
are we?
still developing all the characters and kind of laying out like the foundation of like, you know, what treasure they're going to be like journeying towards, and you know it's tying in like, you know, pre-Columbian Mesoamerican kind of stuff, which I like and I think is cool. You know what, it's got a lot of potential, and you know what, is it super intricate? No, but that's not the way it's designed to be. It's supposed to be fun, light, and you know, but interesting at the same time.
Where is it? Is it tying into the movie at all?
It does. So it has Harvey Keitel's character, who was the FBI agent in the first 2.
okay.
And so because it's basically kind of, you know, like 15 years afterwards, he's been suffering from dementia, and he's thus retired from the FBI.
Okay.
And you're kind of introduced to him in the first episode, and the protagonist basically meets him, and she gets given some information, some clues by him, and then that's how
he had a ring, right? He was part of the inner group of people who...
He was a Mason.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so I brought it up here. Hang on.
33rd Auto.
So you've got Lizette Oliveira. Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it.
She is.
What does she play?
She plays like kind of like the bad lady.
Oh, she's the big bad.
Yeah.
And
big
then,
bad rich lady.
Rumor,
you know that there's going to be like, you can tell though that like maybe she's not that bad. You know, maybe she's like has other people that she's like you know, working for, and then you know maybe she's going to come around.
there's a Hydra in the background.
Yeah,
so to speak.
you got kind of that feel, but you know.
And how's Justin Bartha doing in it?
Who's that?
That would be Riley from the actual movies. Has he
hasn't shown up yet.
Because he's the only.
Oh, I didn't even know he was in it. You just fucking ruined it.
You didn't know that?
No, fucking ruined.
Wow, all the marketing I saw was
fucking
like
ruiner,
leading to him the whole way through.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's your problem. Is it do you think it's going to compare to what we've seen on screen with National Treasure 1 and 2?
I mean,
Is it a good supplement?
National Treasure 1 and 2, and the funny thing is, I watched National Treasure 1. I watched those 2 episodes, and then literally, there was only 2 episodes. I watched National Treasure 1 on Sunday night, and then last night I stayed up and I watched National Treasure 2, and I forgot that the second one's not as good as the first one, but they're both fun.
Yeah.
And
Well, the second one's about Abraham Lincoln, right?
It's
John Wilkes Booth,
it's about
Abraham
John Wilkes Booth, and like trying to find the lost city of gold.
Well,
blah,
and
blah, blah.
Cage's family is like, they're trying to defend their honor.
The Gates family honor, and then they go at the very end. They go to, the presidential Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it because the first one has the Resolute desk, the second one is Mount Rushmore.
No, the second one has the Resolute desks in it as well. Yeah.
Fuck, man, there's so many booby traps. Do you like these movies, Mark?
Are we going to talk about the old movies or the new stuff? We're talking about what he watched.
I
know, but he's asking how it ties in.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to say. The movies together are about 3.5 hours of National Treasure, right?
Yeah.
But I like the TV show because it gives me hours to watch sometimes. And even though maybe the quality isn't quite as good, maybe the ensemble isn't quite as good, sometimes I just like having that comfy place to kind of like spend,
Does it give you the puzzles?
8 to 12, a little bit.
Okay.
Absolutely 100%. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I always like that. Like,
at
noon, the light will shine through the center of the thing, showing. Like, I always love.
It's like Da
those
Vinci Code. Like, that's why I like Dan Brown. I like that kind of puzzle shit.
That was the whole reason I chased.
I'm
all
not a
3
huge
movies.
popular fiction person, but I fucking love Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, Angels and Demons.
Angels and Demons was a fucking great book.
What was I watched the most recent one. I can't remember the name of it. Where there's like a plague that's released. Hanks didn't want to do it, but I mean, he had to.
Yeah, I did see that one too. That wraps really into is it the Catholic Church?
The second one is the Catholic Church where they pick a new.
Guys, all 3 of them are the Catholic Church, basically.
Yeah. Well, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, the third one has more to do with
Dante's
Inferno.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
How many?
And then there's like the
7?
opera the underwater opera that's like in an aqueduct in an Italian city at the very end.
Yes, where the
and that's
disease
where
is.
they're gonna drop the disease.
Yeah. I don't recall.
And I love how there's like that guy and he has the thing and he keeps tightening on his fucking leg.
That's the first one.
Because no, that's Da Vinci Code. It's not the first one. It's the second one.
That's Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code's technically the second one, but they made the Da Vinci Code first because it was the bigger
so
book.
Angels and Demons.
Angels and Demons was actually the first book.
Yeah, first book, second movie.
Interesting.
Pay attention. Keep up.
Yeah, no, I picked it up just because I grew up Catholic, so I was like, ooh, somebody's saying that Jesus had a child. I'll read this.
Right? You probably did
because it's I after reading the Da Vinci Code, you get really
you know that Jesus was
Jesus totally fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that debate that
just don't say Muhammad fucks because then yeah.
Stigmata, another great tear off the veil of the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Anyways,
how many Mount Rushmores out of 10 do you give National Treasure? Edge of History.
How many stolen constitutions do I give it?
Yeah.
I give it like a solid 7.5.
All right. And you're gonna keep watching it, obviously.
Yeah, because it's fun.
All right.
It's fun.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
It's fun. Sometimes though, what happens with the Disney Plus and this happens with Prime too, is because they only release 1 episode a week. Sometimes I forget about it.
Yeah, I've
and the algorithm's really bad at reminding you as well too, because of the way it's set up. Netflix is really good at just going, look at this, you forgot to finish this now, blah 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 blah. Whereas Prime's just like, hey, good luck finding anything, and Disney Plus is kind of like, hey, guess what? Your kid watched Frozen five months ago. You better watch this Frozen shit instead of like, show me what I want to fucking watch in Star Wars land. Anyway, I digress.
Gripes by Raw. Yeah. Mark, what'd you watch?
What did I watch? Playing catch up, so probably things you guys have talked about. I watched House of Dragon.
Oh,
House of the Dragon.
Are you fully done?
Yeah, so
I have still not watched that.
I hammered through House of the Dragon. Is it House of the Dragon or House of Dragons?
Whatever you want it to be.
Yes. Anyways, hammered through that.
House of the first 3 seasons will be awesome, and the last 3 will suck.
If it's following suit with
you laughed because you know it's true. I don't think it'll go more than 3.
So I caught up with that. I really enjoyed it. That was pretty cool. I like the slow burn story stuff, like the historical kind of stuff. I don't need a whole bunch of action, and I like that.
Well, that's why you like The Curse of Oak Island. It's a fucking slow burn,
it's
baby.
Definitely a slow
The
burn.
biggest con in television. Oh, we'll maybe find treasure next week.
You know what? Fuck you. I will fight you.
I
on
know you
this.
will, and I know how much you die for.
Now,
fucking
I'll
Oak
be
Island,
honest with
but-
you guys. I'm waiting to re-sign up my Stack TV to watch that, but I'm gonna wait until April.
Yeah. That's
So
a good
that
idea.
so that I only have to wait 5 weeks to see the end.
You can be one of the people who falls for that show. That's fine.
You know what? When they
need
fucking
an
find some
audience.
fucking Templar treasure,
fucking call
fucking
me then.
national treasure
You
style,
call me.
I'm gonna be like, suck it now.
I am more than happy to even call them and be like, would you do an interview with Rob and me so that you and Rob can yell at me for
I want Mark to be there
I
too.
find that show
That's fine.
fascinating. I don't
Mark
know.
loves that show. Chrissy and Micheal, that is their commonality, is that they both hate that show so much, and Mark and I like it.
Chrissy's like number one go-to thing bugging me about things that I like. She goes back to the line of, could it be? Because it's the entire show, like every 10 minutes. Could it be?
Guys,
a Templar cross?
Like, I'll admit, I cannot watch that show without the ability to fast forward.
Oh, God, no.
Sure,
Like
they
a
repeat
a 2-hour show in 40
Like,
minutes.
I don't need them
Easy.
to re-explain how the money pit traps work,
Yes.
water traps work, okay?
I don't get me wrong. I want you guys to have Templar treasure. I want there to be gold just pouring out the side of that island. But I also
hope they
want that
fo-
to happen in our fucking lifetime.
I hope they find the Ark of the Covenant.
But
That apparently is in Axum, Ethiopia. Look it up.
okay.
And then
House of the Dragon,
newer
yeah.
stuff. The third season of Mythic Quest
That's a show. You like that show
on
a lot.
Apple.
Yeah.
It's I like
Mythic
it.
Quest, it's called?
Yeah, Mythic Quest. Rob McElhaney.
Sell them on it.
Rob McElhaney?
yeah.
Sold.
Mythic Quest is
I'll take two.
it's basically the video game company that made
Blizzard. Kind of Blizzard.
Warcraft maybe.
That's Blizzard.
That's Blizzard.
No, but I'm just saying like that game.
Oh, okay.
Like a
That's-
first,
yeah.
right?
Like,
So
like a
it's-
real-time strategy?
It's people that it's more of a
Is it like
it's
is
a
it like Silicon Valley funny?
what's the big game that ever
Fortnite.
Wow.
Wow. World of Warcraft.
You're just saying things.
Blizzard. Blizzard made World of Warcraft.
No, I'm so
They made Warcraft, they made Diablo, they
yeah.
made World of
So
Warcraft.
it's like a real time massive multiplayer universe.
Command and Conquer.
And but it's kind of like
Dune.
the background of the people that started the game and
Yeah,
built it.
yes,
And they're
yes.
they're just releasing like the expansion pack for it,
Cool.
and it's the inner workings of the game developers. And McElhaney plays like the weird eccentric genius that has all the ideas, and he doesn't know how to program shit, so he just goes to the nerds to program his crazy ideas.
Perfect. Steve Jobs.
And it's I enjoy it actually quite a bit.
What's it called again? Mythic Quest?
Mythic Quest.
You
yeah.
sold me. I will
Was-
subscribe
It's
to
in
Apple.
its third season.
Is this the last one?
I don't know. Possibly. It's got some good people in it. Who's the guy from Community? The brown dude from Community?
I can't remember his name, but
Oh, he's super funny.
he's super hilarious.
He's in it, and he's plays a great role. It's just a kind of a neat, it's in the world of video games, and sometimes
Yeah.
they'll like do cutscenes with things from the video game, like in with the show, and it's kind of
That's cool.
it's interesting. So I've been enjoying it.
I'm sold because it reminds me kind of like I loved Silicon Valley. That's one of my favorite
Yes.
shows.
So that it's
Yeah.
in that sort of the tech era of that.
Yeah. Okay, that's
I
cool.
remember the crazy millionaire guy, the
Yeah, the crazy billionaire guy.
Yeah.
I'm an 11-digit billionaire.
kind of McElhaney-esque
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this. Yeah.
Nice, that's
Not
good.
quite as crazy, but yeah,
Are you
very
talking about
eccentric.
The billionaire from Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, with the fast food scene when they first introduced his character.
Yeah.
So fucking brilliant.
And there's even like
He's always driving his McLaren.
yeah.
in Mythic Quest, they even like address like gamer YouTube channels that
Yeah.
their game is so
like Twitch and shit like that.
yeah, right. There's like the most famous Twitch reviewer, and if he likes the new expansion pack, then we're gold. But if this 12-year-old
Yeah.
kid doesn't like it, we're screwed.
It's basically like Ninja
Yeah,
like reviewing
exactly,
something.
right.
Yeah.
That's
no, it's actually very, very entertaining.
Holy fuck! It's -26 outside.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
fucking cold.
Christ.
So watch it. I enjoy it. It hasn't got near enough
Is it-
push.
It's like 22 minutes too, right? It's half-hour format.
It's short, bang through. I got Apple Plus to watch. Oh God,
Spirited?
I'm blanking. No, who's the
Severance.
the soccer coach?
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
We got to watch Ted Lasso.
Is
and
that
then
show any
I've-
good?
Yeah, I
Oh,
enjoyed
it's
it. So we watched all of Ted Lasso, watched Severance, watching Mythic Quest.
What do you think about that Eyes one where like everyone's blind? That show.
See
See.
Jason Momoa. I haven't seen it yet.
The cutscenes always look good, but the whole premise of the show seems stupid to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 100 premise to me. Like it's a really good idea, but it's just badly executed. I haven't given it any time, but before we move on.
I feel like everyone would be eaten.
Sure, yeah, you're running around blind.
I think though it's if you want to change, and we haven't really talked about Apple TV Plus
We
very much.
forget about it all the time.
If you want something different, like cancel a month of Crave or whatever, you can't cancel Prime. But
Well, the thing is that I prepay for Prime for the year.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to prepay for Disney. Gives you a deal if you pay for the whole thing, and so does Crave. So I pay for the whole year. It's only Netflix that doesn't give you a deal to pay for the whole year.
Take a month off Netflix and go check out.
It's not going to
Apple
happen.
TV
Netflix
Plus.
is. I have a kid. I use Netflix every day.
Back to
There ain't no Paw Patrol anywhere else.
Hang on for a sec. Back to I want to
That's
ask
why I
Or
have-
My Little Pony.
That's why I have Paramount Plus, because there's things that are only on Paramount Plus now.
with House of the Dragon. Who's your pick so far to like go straight up fucking crazy Targaryen?
Oh God, there's so many of them.
Blonde number
The-
6.
The,
Please
the
define.
first son of the king
eye
and
patch?
Alicent. No, the first son, the older son, who's already crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
He's kind of the drunk that's whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
Eye Patch has already fucking lost it. Like we saw in the last episode, he's definitely lost it.
Yeah. That scene, I mean, that spoiler alert. I don't know, Rob, do you want to hear about one of the craziest dragon kill shots in the history of...
Dude, it's fine.
Okay.
Dragon on dragon crime.
hard dragon
Honestly,
dragon.
I don't think I'm going to watch it ever.
Really?
No.
You know, like, once you...
And I love Fire and Ice books. Like I was like had the biggest boner. I was the kind of person that would like lend my books out to people before those show ever happened.
You should be watching this then, because they talk about this Valyrian dagger that actually has inscribed in it the Song of Fire and Ice.
Damn
And
it!
the legend.
We'll watch it. Damn it!
Like, we're
You know what?
It's like
You know what?
National Treasure.
I
meets Game of
refuse to watch it until Crave gives me 4K HDR. Fuck you, Crave. Are you listening, Bell Media? You need to up your motherfucking game.
The dragons are great.
The
I
dragons...
can't wait till HBO ditches you and comes here themselves.
I'll be honest though, I liked the first 4 episodes with the younger characters.
The building of
The girl that played what's her name?
Incest Blonde 6.
The young blonde girl, whatever.
Yeah, when they...
All their names are almost identical. Rhaegar. But she was good. Like the actress that played the young version of her was very compelling. I think better than the aged actress.
Did you find that it, like they maybe could have gone with one less aging episode? Like I felt that went a little long, and then they break for 2 episodes, and then they do it again for one more. Like I just felt if they had put that all front heavy instead of spaced it out, we could have had a different show. But that's me.
They probably test marketed it, playing it in a couple of different renditions, and they probably found that jumping actually played better with the audience, and that's why.
Rhaenyra?
So Princess Rhaenyra is so that's played by Emma Darcy, the
That-
older version, but the younger version, I know. Yeah,
She was a very compelling character, and I don't think that whatever quality that
Millie Alcock is her. Millie Alec,
yeah,
sorry.
whatever quality she brought to the character, I think was lost on me a little bit as she aged. She didn't have that, like, I don't know. The older version reminded me too much of the Queen from Game of Thrones.
Oh, Daenerys.
Cersei?
No, Cersei.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she kind of got Cersei-ish because she's
But
like
maybe that-
protective of her bastard children.
But
and-
maybe that's
yeah.
maybe that's the whole point, though,
yeah,
right?
Probably. But yeah, I didn't like
the past repeats itself.
the young girl reminded me of Daenerys, and then the older version reminds me of Cersei. And I liked the Daenerys side better than the Cersei side.
The gentleman who plays the one-eyed Danger, what the heck's his name? Matt Smith. Matt Smith is Daemon, obviously. Who, like, some of those scenes.
He's a great character. Yeah.
That one scene where he just steps up and smirks
Oh
against his nephew,
God, yeah.
and puts him in place with one look, like that right there, solidified how dangerous that guy's going to be. That massive dragon fight scene at the end though, like that was such a fucking cliffhanger to leave on, because everybody's like you can clearly tell. Then like they do mention Rob. I think at one point they talk like there's like 12 dragons in the world of House of the Dragon. Like it will get to a civil war that'll just be blood and guts.
There's
but,
12 whole dragons.
There's 3 that are about to be born. And
That's a lot of dragons.
Yeah,
Not really.
Well, they're
Dragonlance
talking
had
nuclear weapons everywhere.
thousands.
It's because there's like 2 sides, and it says we have, and they're counting off who's dragons against who's dragons.
And what size the dragons are, and
Yeah,
are they male, are they
exactly.
female, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So
of them
that's
are-
how you
That's cool.
know there's only, like, we have 8 dragons, and they only have 4,
Yeah.
but they have blah, 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 and, you know.
how many how many up down left right select starts do you give Mythic Quest?
Mythic Quest, honestly, is a solid 8 for me. For what it
Really?
is, I really enjoy it.
Well, it's your world, right? You love gaming, you love strategy, you love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
McElhaney's, yeah, exactly. He's hilarious. He's got a couple other characters that play off of him really well. So, yeah, it's worthwhile.
And how many incestual blondes out of 10 do you give?
Yeah, blonde stepchildren. I think right now it's better than the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Ooh, hot take. Yeah. I'll give it the better than the last season for sure. The second last season started to wane a little bit,
It
but
was
like
too rushed.
Yeah.
But better than the last season.
Those last 2
Oh,
seasons
far
should have
by
been
far.
4.
Yeah, we can argue that all day long. Yeah, no, they just wanted out. They wanted a new show. I think they were done with this toy and they wanted a new shiny toy, and
Then they
rushed
should have
it.
stepped away and let somebody else
I
carry
will
it.
tell you, the moment they lost me is that trapped on that ice floe, surrounded by walkers, and somehow a dragon can fly all the fucking way to get Daenerys and come back, and they're still in the ice floe.
Big plot hole.
When really the fucking wall to King's Landing or whatever is like a
days.
3-day
Yeah.
hike, and you can just pop over in half an hour.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No, I there was
The
things that-
dragon could fly Mach 7.
It wasn't to scale.
the timeline was literally rushed. What took for 5 years.
It is
what
a
took
hyper
days.
weapon.
Exactly.
Okay, what did I watch? I watched a lot, but like the one thing that I
Did you watch Willow?
no, I'm not going to watch Willow.
I watched the first episode. It was very disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
I'll eventually watch it because I love Willow.
It's not on my radar. I don't think it'll.
Go on. Sorry.
Anyways, I saw Violent Night, and I would love to talk
In the
about
theater?
that. In the theater, yeah. Oh man, I had such a horrible run at the theater. I'll talk about that off show. It was just absolutely atrocious, but it had nothing to do with the movie. What I want to talk
Did
about
you go to
is
Cineplex or to?
I went to Silver City, and that's why I don't want to talk about it. White Lotus.
It's great. I've seen it. It's amazing.
It's fucking.
I've heard so many good things.
The last episode of season 2 is fucking awesome.
It's so, and you know what? In the first episode of season 2, they show exactly what's gonna. Like, I've been going through an Easter egg hunt on it. Like all the
Wait,
little,
the whole time you're thinking, you're like, who's gonna fucking die?
Yeah.
Who's dying?
So
Yeah.
do you know about the first one at all, Mark?
No.
Okay, so it's a murder mystery that takes place.
I roughly know what the basis of it is.
Okay, so you know that much.
Yeah.
So this is in Italy this time. Jennifer Coolidge is there. Her character from the first one, who is like a ditzy widow who's coming to some serious money.
Mm-hmm.
This season talks about, and Mike, what the fuck's his name?
You love to hate her character.
You totally do.
You want to slap her.
But season 1 was all about money, actually. Season 2 is all about sex and relationships. And it's stuff that I know you'd like. It's a confined space. It's one place. Shit happens there. It's a bunch of intersecting stories. You've got these Italian prostitutes who are trying to screw over all the people who are coming there. You've got a family of men. You've got a grandfather and a son and then a grandson. And they are literally the 3 areas of misogyny in 2022. You've got the old grandpa who won't change. You've got the dad who's caught in between, and you've got the son who's a complete other end of the spectrum. You've got
He's very woke.
very, very
I'm
woke.
going to have to get into it. I've heard really good things from lots of different sources.
You'll have so much fun. Mike White is the writer-director. He played one season of Survivor a couple of years ago.
All right.
And I think that kind of like polished his diamond a little bit in Hollywood and kind of got back into it because he's been parlaying off of it. This season, it's just 6 episodes of anxiety. It crests It doesn't even crest.
And
it
the
just keeps going up.
soundtrack is.
Oh my god!
It just plays with your emotions.
It does.
Like it'll be like this happy scene, but the music like it's like creepy carnival music.
So
Like,
that's for sure a show that Chrissy's not going to watch with me because she doesn't like anxiety-riddled shows.
but Micheal doesn't usually either, and she liked this one.
Like she hates Ozark because the entire time you're watching Ozark, you're like just waiting for somebody else.
Oh,
to
Micheal
die.
likes Ozark. Yeah.
the best way I can explain
Yeah,
it
Ozark
is
is totally that. Also, Ozark has that filter where you're just like, shit gonna happen. Shit gonna happen.
Yeah.
so. What it does is it starts off with everybody at the resort. They get off the boat, they get off the plane, they get there, and everybody has a set of problems that they're bringing from their everyday lives. That's where it takes off and just keeps
cool.
building. And those problems infect the holiday.
Oh, nice.
Aubrey Plaza is a fucking gem and a half in this. Like she's actually starting to act instead of just being
she's
angry
great.
bitchy girl in the corner. She's really stretching. Theo James is in it, plays the absolute piece of fucking shit douchebag. So good. F. Murray Abraham is the old grandpa.
F. Murray Abraham also in Mythic Quest.
There you go.
Michael Ignatieff.
Michael Ignatieff, who plays Christopher on The Sopranos.
Yeah. That's him.
God.
Michael Ignatieff. No,
No,
it's not Michael Ignatieff. It's Michael. It doesn't start with an I.
Imperioli.
Imperioli.
Yeah,
that's exactly who it is.
Michael Ignatieff is like a fucking Canadian politician. I don't know why that fucking popped in my head.
Yeah,
It's like, why does that name sound so familiar?
Totally.
Michael Imperioli.
Michael Imperioli.
That's what it is.
It's
Michael
Christopher.
Imperioli. And he's also in Goodfellas. He plays like the mute guy, like Spiders.
Yes, he
that
does.
Gets shot in the foot.
The shoe shine. The
Yeah,
whole fucking,
yeah,
the
because
whole
he's
thing
got a
goes down.
stutter or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's quick. It's easy. Hour 2 for episodes. Like they really pack a lot of shit in. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes it's just this crazy build, and you're like, well, no one.
I'll have to get into it.
Yeah, give it a shot. That's
I love the whole sort of mystery-esque part of that, which is on just a quick note because I'm just super fucking excited about it. I've just been listening about it. I can't wait till Glass Onion comes out. I'm so fucking excited to watch.
Isn't that tomorrow?
The 23rd?
Oh, so it's Friday.
I still have yet to see the first one,
Oh,
and I know
It's so
I'm missing
good.
the boat.
Oh, sorry.
I know I
Emily in
am.
Paris season 3 comes out tomorrow.
Oh,
Michelle's
sorry.
very excited about that.
One of my buddies at work was.
Guess
just
what
in-
I get to watch for the next few days? You guessed it.
One of my buddies was in Paris this last week
Yeah.
for a holiday, and he was there for premiere of Emily in Paris.
Oh, nice.
They walked right into a fucking red carpet party. Had no idea what was going on around
that's
the
cool.
corner. Everybody was there. Big fucking deal. So I understand.
watch Knives Out,
Sorry.
and then watch Glass Onion.
Knives
It's
Out's
so good. Daniel Craig character in it is just so awesome. It's meant to be him. Like I think he's more this character than he is Bond.
I love everything that Daniel Craig does because Bond is one note. Bond is he's smug and he's angry and
I
that's
disagree.
it.
I disagree. I disagree. I think his Bond was not single note, and I think if you go from movie to movie, there is a little bit of change. Definitely, Casino Royale was not right.
Oh, well, Casino Royale was rebooting the series essentially.
Absolutely, and if anything, the only reason he was given Bond is because of the character he played in Layer Cake.
That's true. Yeah, being the good drug dealer in Layer Cake would
How have you not seen Knives Out?
You
You haven't
know,
seen
watch
Knives
it.
Out?
my problem is I don't watch enough comedy.
It's like the Knives Out is awesome because it's like it's like a throwback to like an awesome Agatha Christie type novel.
Oh, I know.
100%.
I know, and I loved
What's
Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh
I
yeah.
love-
Did you watch River on the Nile?
Not yet.
Murder on the Nile? It's
Not
good.
No, I also
It's
want to
good.
see that. What I do love about it, and it's something that doesn't get used enough in these that this type of movie is the filming, is that one person is telling their story, and you see it.
From their guys.
You see it through their eyes, and even if it's a lie, you see the characters act out a lie as you're seeing their side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't believe your own eyes with what's happening because you're actually seeing them act out the
Okay,
lie.
that's fun.
So there's different people's points of view, and then you're like, oh, it didn't happen that way. It fucking happened this way. And, so I love that the way they film that, like, is amazing. The way they tell that
Well,
story.
the end of Knives Out is awesome too.
Oh,
Because
it's so
they're
good.
also because they're like telling about how he like went up the stairs, went up
Yeah.
his ladder, and then that's why
Also,
there's this
they
mud
give you
here.
a once over again of how
Oh,
it
yeah.
all went down. Like,
Yeah.
Because he ties it all together at
Who
the
was
end.
in the
It
library
explains
with the
whole
candle?
story.
So yeah,
kind of
he
thing.
interviews this person. They tell their version. You see the version as they're explaining it, and then you ask. He's the inspector that comes in,
okay,
right?
might have to do
The
this.
story's going all the way over here, Mike, but really the actual story's over here.
Yeah.
And then he somehow brings it all around and then ties it all together in this beautiful bow, and you're just like, oh my God, that was exquisite.
And apparently, Glass Onion is
Very
like,
much the
just as good.
Well, and it's jam-packed. You got Edward Norton, Dave Bautista, Kate Hudson. Like, I know
this movie's basically everything that the Star Wars movie should have been.
Ooh.
It's what Rian Johnson couldn't put into The Last Jedi.
Oh, did I just say that out loud?
You say it every
It's
time
by far the best
I
murder
do,
mystery
'cause
movie
it's
I've
so
seen
bad.
in a long.
And I love those. Like, me and Shauna sit there and we're like, I just keep screaming at the TV. Like, watching White Lotus, I'm like, she's the dead one. Nope, he's the dead one. Nope. I called every, like,
If you like White Lotus, go watch Knives Out, like, tonight,
okay,
tomorrow.
if you like
watch
Knives
it.
Out, go watch White Lotus this
I
weekend.
will. But it's more ridiculous that you haven't seen Knives Out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really? It's more ridiculous than the fact that you have yet to see The Matrix?
you beat me to it.
Touche.
It's old news.
And is it more strange that you haven't seen The fucking Simpsons?
Or Toy Story. He's going to go home.
Do you know Toy Story 5's coming out in next year?
Great. Just another one to rack up an afternoon.
Dude, they're fucking so good.
I know they are. Okay, listen, we're so on time right now with this episode.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. Exactly, right? Like, that is a rabbit hole that I would love to entertain. I just don't want to entertain the listener with it.
Have you seen the new Buzz Lightyear?
No.
It's so good.
But I'll watch that first because I know it's a prequel.
When I see Keanu, I see...
It is, actually.
When I see Keanu, I see John Wick, not fucking Neo.
You don't see Ted?
That's because you're late to the party, right?
No, he's John Wick.
And
I'm looking forward to the new John Wick, too.
Right.
Anyways.
Okay. So, as promised at the top of the show, ladies and gentlemen, we have another Christmas episode for you because it is the holidays. It is actually the week of Christmas as you're listening to this. So, with that being said, let's kick into it. First on the fucking docket is whenever we watch Christmas movies, there's usually a family setting involved. I mean, without the family, it doesn't really feel like Christmas. And there's tons of families on screen that I think we all relate to, or as Mark said earlier, might want to
Or
replace.
want to relate to.
Like, literally want to be with that family for Christmas. So I'll kick this one off. When I look at on-screen families during Christmas time, my family life, like how our Christmas shit goes down, is just fucking chaotic, right? There's kids, there's family, there's pets, there's everybody's doing something, everybody's all over the map, but it all kind of comes together at the dinner table, and then it disperses again and goes crazy. I think I would do really well at the McAllister's house. I think Home Alone is the perfect place for me for Christmas time. I love the craziness of a Christmas where everything is going on and you can like bounce from room to room, right? Like if someone's playing games over here or like spilling milk on, airline tickets over here or reading a Playboy over here. Like whatever's going on in the Home Alone home at Christmas
Peeing in the bed
time.
because you ate too much Pepsi.
Exactly, right?
Or drank.
But like,
Are you fuller?
I was.
Tell me more.
So, the McAllisters, when I go to Christmas this year, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 kids. Like it's a kid to adult ratio that I like because I'm still a big kid, right? Like I'll go off in the corner and play with the VR headset with the kids. And
Do you
then go
sit
back
at the
upstairs.
kids' table?
I actually no, because I carved the turkey. I get to sit at the
okay.
adults table. It's my pass. So like, yeah, the McAllisters are my jam. They're my people. I feel that I would do well with them at Christmas.
And what
time.
did he do for a living to live in that giant fucking house?
We never get that answer. We
in
don't
the
know what any of
suburbs
the family
Chicago.
Yeah, we
and
know.
had 7 kids?
We know the brother's super cheap because he won't pay for the pizza, but we don't know what the dad and the mom.
But that's
do.
her brother.
So is it her? Yeah, sorry, her brother. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never find out when any of the family members.
So you find
do.
comfort in the chaos.
I do. I definitely do. I don't like a quiet Christmas. A quiet Christmas makes me feel like I'm missing out on all of the action that's happening.
You haven't enjoyed a
every day.
quiet Christmas.
I don't think I enjoy a quiet New Year's. I really do like a quiet New Year's, but a quiet Christmas, I like cresting at like Boxing Day at the end of the day where you're tired and you visited everybody and you've traveled all over town, you've dropped off all your gifts. That madness is something that I do well in. So the McAllisters are it for me. Mark, what about you?
Well, you know what? This is one that's my Christmases as even a teenager, because my parents split up when I was quite young. So I had to find ways to go and do like breakfast with my mom's side of the family at this house. Then I'd go to my dad's to try to do the middle of the day Christmas presents with my dad, eat dinner at my dad's house, leave and have dessert with the family at a different place than we had the breakfast, and then come home. So 4 Christmases.
I was just going to say, it sounds like 3's definitely going on in your life.
Yeah. So that's the one that kind of hits home because you're going to lots of different places and each one has its own vibe.
And set of problems.
You know, some of them is like really mellow. Like we go visit my uncle who was just living alone. So it's like this chill like hour where you just hang out and shoot the shit. But then you go somewhere else where there's like 14 kids and running around, especially years ago. My 3 cousins have 4, 4, and 3 for kids.
Wow.
So yeah, they were like 11 kids under the age of 10 for a while.
That's a madhouse.
Yeah, it was. And so you go there and there's that craziness. And I don't have any of the UFC brothers, like the Favreau. Like that was amazing. The Robert Duvall Favreau.
So there's no like awkward family moments.
There's always awkward family moments, but not quite like that.
Yeah, that's turned up.
Yeah. But yeah, I was 4 Christmases and usually because I would rather just get on a plane and run away from all of it.
Yeah.
But I've yet to be able to successfully do that. And really to this date, when we're going to Christmas stuff, I say like our safe word is fucking mistletoe. We're going to get out of there. So it's
pull the cord.
Mistletoe. That's me written all over it. 4 Christmases.
I watched 4 Christmases on Sunday.
And still pays off, eh?
I only watched half of it and got bored and turned it off.
Sacrilegious.
Sacrilegious. I know.
The first half is the better half, but
I watched until the part where he's like playing Joseph at the church.
You watched all the good stuff, pretty much.
Yeah, heavy front half. What about you, Rob?
For me, it's not about choosing a family that reminds me of the Christmases I have. I want to be part of the Jingle All the Way family, just because I want Arnie to be my dad.
What's the name of the toy he's trying to get?
Oh, fuck.
I can't remember.
Is it like Ultraman?
Ultraman or something like that, yeah.
I don't want to Google this. I think we can lift this together.
Sinbad's so good in that.
Oh, wow.
It's so terrible.
What is it that attracts you to the Jingle All the Way?
That I want Arnold to be my dad.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, but what kind of Christmas?
I want Arnold to,
I'm not letting him off the hook here.
I want my dad to be fucking Conan and go get me a fucking baller toy.
And go to the end of the earth
to get that baller toy. That's what I want.
Do you want to sit there and just recite some of his best lines? Like what's your Arnold Christmas like?
Get down.
Get down to the tree.
Get down to the tree.
What the fuck is the name of this? Talk amongst yourselves. I need to find a name of this.
Who's your daddy and who does he work for?
Who's the toy? Toy in Jingle.
Crom.
So the toy in Jingle.
I always imagine that scene in Conan where he takes the sword and he like breaks like the rust off the sword and then breaks the fucking shackles and then throws him to a shunder and like.
Okay, so we said Ultraman. Do we want to have any other guesses before I tell you?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious man.
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
There it is. So every year I love a good Christmas special. I love watching the same Christmas specials.
Which one's that?
Over and over again. There's an episode of television, and it's one of the very few I've seen of The Office. This is one that just made me really fucking laugh my ass off. But the one that brings comfort is Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Disney.
I watched that with Lucy last night.
And like I love it. It's quick, it's painless, goofy as Ebenezer's buddy. What is it? Not Moriarty, that's Sherlock Holmes. What the fuck was his name?
It's more something though.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. But like Scrooge McDuck is Scrooge is so much fun, right? Like spinning off of the DuckTales thing, the giant pile of gold.
I also love that he's Scottish.
Right? Scrooge McDuck. The big giant with the plums. Like, there's just so many scenes that bring such a fucking stupid amount of joy. And it's traditional, right? Like, it's every Sunday at Christmas time, right?
The Wonderful World of Disney.
Wonderful World of Disney, 6 o'clock, CBC. Like, you'd do everything in your fucking power at that time to make sure you were sitting in front of that TV at 5:59 so you didn't miss a second of it. And I love that it's in fucking perpetuity now. Like, it's on Disney Channel. I can watch it in May if I feel like it. It's
That's
just
sacrilege.
a really... It's special in the sense that it's that story, because when we get into the next topic, there's some shit there that means a lot. But like, it's just fun. It's simple. It's easy. It's digestible, and it's all your favorite characters being used in different ways, right? Like, So yeah, that's that. But then the episode of television is the Yankee Swap episode of The Office, where the iPod just keeps popping around.
Never seen it.
You've never seen that? So like,
So I'll admit something to you guys all. I've only seen like the first 6 episodes of The Office.
This has got to be me too, because most of the shit
I've been
that
wanting
time-
to watch it so many times, and I just haven't gotten around to just crushing it.
Same.
It's on my to-do list.
This one episode though, it's the Christmas time episode, and Michael brings, like, everyone's supposed to bring like a $5, $10 item for Secret Santa.
Yeah.
And Michael brings an iPod, and the whole Secret Santa is just everybody taking the
Trying to get
iPod
it,
from
yeah.
somebody else, and it's all it is. Just and like I'm like, that is so fucking Office Space. It's ridiculous, and I've been in those situations where somebody brings the stellar gift to the shitty gift exchange.
Do you play the game where you can steal each other's presents?
I've played it. I haven't played it in a
White
long
Elephant or something like that.
Something like that. I haven't played it since I was a
Okay.
kid.
That's a good one.
But I would like to play it with people now. Like, I think it would be fun to see
Yeah, it's a fun one.
whose game's the best. So out of those are my 2 jams for Christmas special / whatever. Rob, you got a special?
Yeah, mine is the original Grinch animated movie.
Boris Karloff. You and
Yeah.
Emily are the same. Yeah. You're a mean one.
It just
Mr. Grinch.
it's just fun. I love that song. It just resonates with my childhood. Every time I hear that song or I see like a scene from it, it just brings me back to being a kid and watching that at the time of year. I'd say a close second is probably, and you guys are gonna laugh, but the Garfield Christmas special I would always play at Christmas time too, and that's another one. For some reason, it always kind of resonates with me.
I never saw it.
Yeah. I don't really remember it that well, but it's just, them, there's always a message where Garfield is like selfish, and then he learns to be thankful, and, it's always
he
around
treats
that.
Odie good at the end. I think he gives him a
Exactly.
big
And
present
then,
or
them
something,
putting
yeah.
the star
Shares
on
his
the top.
lasagna.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, Grinch is fucking classic.
It's fucking amazing. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. I love the Jim Carrey Grinch. He's phenomenal in it. It just doesn't hold the same magic for me.
I agree. I'll agree.
I think it's like I love the original Star Wars trilogy because I was a kid when I watched it, and I can identify with somebody who's in their mid to late 20s who loves episodes 1, 2, and 3 because they saw those as a young
The
kid.
power of nostalgia.
Totally.
Really, it's a very powerful drug.
Yeah.
And
Though Jar Jar sucks.
it looks like the book, right? That animation looks identical to every Dr. Seuss page you've ever seen.
It's definitely reminiscent to it. I would say it has its own style still though by itself, but it definitely throws to it very well.
And you know it, like those first 4 bars.
It's not like the new Lorax movie where it's like it's so hyper cartoony that you kind of lose. It's Dr. Seuss, but it doesn't have that same kind of
the flip art. It's not
totally.
It's old school fucking animation at its core.
Yeah.
Mark,
What's special for you?
Well, my number one choice, since you guys kind of did a number one and a runner-up, is I love, and lots of people don't know about this one, The Muppets Family Christmas.
I've heard about it, but you're right. I've never seen it.
It's hard to find. A few years back,
Don't you have a copy of it?
I have a copy of it.
Is that
That's-
one with like actual Jim Henson in it?
It's the one that has the Muppets, Sesame Street, and Fraggle Rock.
Oh, cool.
Wow,
and
heavy
they
hitters.
all end up at the house for the holidays,
I don't know
and
if
they
I've
get
ever seen
snowed
that.
in. And
Talk
so
about a dream.
it's the crossover between all of them that's just
The
amazing.
Superverse.
Yeah, it is. It's the Henson verse.
Are you ready for?
And there's just so many fun little moments of the interactions between the different shows. It's the copy I have probably was like digitally recorded off of a VHS somewhere. Like it's rough around the
bootleg.
edges, but there's one scene that's just the most amazing. The Swedish chef is cooking Christmas dinner.
Marsky.
He's making Christmas dinner in the kitchen, and Big Bird walks in, and the Swedish chef, so different worlds, Swedish chef turns to him and goes, "Holy bird, it's a big turkey." And then he starts chasing him with his knife and fork.
Of course.
What's it called again?
A Muppet Family Christmas.
I got to see this.
And
image of this
it's
chef.
awesome. Yeah.
I feel like
Holy dude, it's a big turkey.
87. It's actually kind of newer.
Ish. There's also an old Muppet one that's like in the 70s or something that's really old. But Muppet Family Christmas is great because the Fraggle Rock is from the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So it's got the old man and the dog from Fraggle Rock, and it's got
everybody.
Yeah.
It's got Elmo, Grouch.
the way that they're all interacting,
Bert and Ernie.
and people just keep showing up like randomly to this, like it's grandma's house or something.
There's something to be said about the variety show.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's exactly the perfect version of it.
And that's kind of what it is.
Right.
It's amazing, and it's a rare one. So it's like you got to find that gem. Yeah, you got to know somebody who knows somebody now to get your hands on it, I think.
Have you guys watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas
Yes.
special?
I have not.
What'd you think of it?
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was quick.
enjoyed
it.
it.
was
I'm surprised nobody mentioned the Star Wars Christmas special.
But I was gonna say my backup one.
I was holding on to that.
My backup one would probably be the Peanuts Christmas.
Yeah, that was pretty nostalgic.
Because
too.
I always remember, is it Schroeder that gets up and he starts
that
saying
one and the Halloween one both have like a. Like,
well, he gets up and he starts doing the speech where it's like they called for a census and the people came from all across and they counted one by one, and he's just the way that he's speaking it is just stands in my head so much and also because it's like got the religious aspects of Christmas, which you don't see anymore in like cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, don't they talk about Hanukkah in it and Christmas?
Well, I just remember they really
that
talk
what's
about the
in it?
story of Jesus being born in the manger. Like they don't talk about Santa Claus. They talk about like Christmas, like Christian Christmas.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy to lace that hard of a religion footprint
Yeah.
into it.
Is it
Well, at the time, yeah.
in the 50s?
Well, no, you're right.
60s?
Yeah. Well, hang on here. When is...
When was it made? Late 50s, early 60s?
I don't know when this was. I always assumed that it's just the animation style that makes it look...
60s.
Really, it's that old.
And they have like
I
a little
think so.
they have a little Christmas concert and Schroeder's playing and
It's very...
Linus does the speech.
It's Linus who does the speech. I just looked
Yeah.
it up here. And it's like...
Peanuts Christmas?
Yeah. Peanuts.
It sounded like you said penis.
Penis Christmas. Penis Christmas.
And yeah, so there's just something about the speech that Linus gives that's so not cartoony. I don't know how to describe it.
Adult?
Yes.
Maybe? Like...
Charlie Brown Christmas, it's called.
Yeah.
Either way,
So, because he gets up, he's like, "For behold, I bring unto you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all the people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David." Like, it's the whole speech, and it's everybody's just silent, and just the way that he talks about it.
Well, what's his face? What's his name? The guy who wrote Peanuts. Help me out here, somebody.
Oh my God. I'll think of it, and then I'll scream. There's an SH in there somewhere. Anyways, dead air.
Maybe it was the
on
70s.
podcasts.
I don't know. It's fucking old. Either way, we saw the Charlie Brown Christmas when we were little kids.
1965.
Charles M. Schultz.
There you go.
1965. What the fuck, man? That's an old show. You know what?
It's almost 60 years old.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Warner Brothers does the adult humor in the cartoon world. It's doing adult conversations in the
Yes.
in the weirdest of places from the most weirdest character.
Yeah,
That's
because there's
fun.
kind of funniness and stuff's happening, and then it gets like super serious, and you don't see that in cartoons very much.
No, Invincible. You do.
It gets really fucking dark. but-
Especially when I
there.
punch my fist through 4 people's chests at once.
And then always like Frosty the Snowman is just
Yeah.
the horrible stop motion claymation.
Or the Rudolph one.
The Rudolph.
one. Yeah.
Oh my god, those are
that they make fun of it at the beginning of Elf, right?
I
Hi,
like.
Mr. Narwhal.
Hello, Mr.
Have you guys watched Elf yet this year?
No.
I watch every year.
Candy. It is a staple. It has to be watched. I watched Christmas Vacation.
That's why.
last week,
That was
so-
my biggest disappointment about the debate the other night.
Was it nobody picked Elf?
Nobody picked.
I had it
anything
on
to
my
do-
short list, but I chose Billy Mack from.
Nobody chose Die Hard and nobody chose Elf, and I was very, very, very
I honestly think
off-put.
maybe Elf, National Lampoons, and for me, Four Christmases are like my 3 Christmas
Those are your
movies.
3 jams?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and like true to fact, Alistair Sim's Christmas Carol, which is a perfect place to segue and not.
Speaking
to
of the
pontificate
Christmas
anymore.
Story, has anybody watched the new?
The Spirited,
Yeah,
with Will Ferrell, and
no, the Christmas Story reboot.
Oh, a Christmas. Oh yes, no, I
A
watched
Christmas
it.
Story
I don't-
Christmas
I
or
don't-
whatever?
I'm afraid to. We've had conversations about this. I'm afraid to
Okay.
watch the new Fletch, and I'm afraid to watch this because yes, Peter Billingsley's back, great, good, and all. Even the guy who went into porn, the guy who plays Scut, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe one of the two guys who was in the bully group did porn and actually was able to do porn and then come back and do a movie for Warner Brothers. Like that's
cool.
pretty fucking crazy. That you either got to have a shitty porn career or know somebody. But I don't want. It is a perfect moment for this time of year, right? There's so many fun things that happen in it. There's so many classic bits that happen in it. Like how we've all been told, don't put your tongue on that pole, and that's where that came from. Right, it's in the ether. So I maybe on a Sunday in August when it doesn't matter as much, I'll try it. But I'm not gonna.
Don't ruin my memories of the Christmas Story at Christmas.
If you guys want to see a really good animated Christmas movie that's come out in the last few years, Klaus is really good.
What's it on? Netflix?
It's on Netflix. It's about a guy who his father is the postmaster general, and he gets sent to this like crazy northern island, and he has to start a post office, like an active post office, and get X amount of letters mailed so he can come back, and then the story unfolds.
That sounds cute.
It's good. It makes me cry.
Guardians was also a cool. You ever watch that?
It was. They wanted to give Peter a dad.
Oh yeah, Guardians.
Yeah.
With fucking Alec Baldwin as Santa.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's so good.
What? Sorry,
Guardians.
of the Galaxy.
We're like we're like Santa's a big badass.
And there's Jack Frost.
Yes. Okay. Never saw it, but I know what you're talking
Hugh
about.
Jackman
Tooth
plays
Fairy.
Hugh Jackman plays the Easter Bunny.
So they all play a Holly.
They're basically
Holiday icon,
Sandman.
Yeah, they're like superheroes.
but from mythic. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
And then who plays the boogeyman? It's
Oogie Boogie.
what's his face from Gattaca?
Ethan Hawke.
No, the other guy.
Uma Thurman. Can't remember. It's not Uma Thurman.
Jude Law.
Ah, there we go. So, last question, and we'll send everybody packing, and they can go watch. I can go watch Four Christmases. I can also watch Knives Out, because I've been told sternly.
I'm gonna watch.
If I don't watch Knives Out, I'm gonna get spanked. I can just.
You
see
will
it.
love it.
I know I
Seriously.
will.
You're
I
gonna
have-
call me at the end. You're like, how have I waited so long to watch this?
I'm gonna message you a third of the way through because I know it's gonna. I know.
Chris Evans is in it.
I know Daniel Craig's detective is easily
It's
one of.
Captain America, James Bond.
Hey, you don't have to sell it like that.
in England.
You won't watch it unless he knows who the other characters are.
Are we gonna talk about A Christmas Carol now?
Of course we are. Why don't you start us off? So, one of the classic stories.
Who's your
Christmas
Scrooge?
Carol. Who's your Scrooge? We've seen it. Even if it's not A Christmas Carol, it's like A Family Man is technically A Christmas Carol, right? He's got. Well, actually, it's more A Wonderful Life, A Family Man. Yeah. But it's also got Christmas Carol elements in it.
It's
right?
a good movie too.
You
It
said
is,
that, and my
yeah.
head went to
It's
Family
like-
Guy, and I'm like, how is Family Guy a Christmas Carol? All right, I got back. Don't worry.
So, but it's played out in different iterations. It's been remade tons of times. A
Yeah.
lot of really famous actors have played Scrooge.
Who wrote A Christmas Carol?
Charles Dickens.
Charles
I think.
Dickens. Thank
I
you very
think.
much. That's who it was. Yeah.
Didn't have to Google that one.
And they started making back in the 30s, I think.
You believe you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And before that, they did plays of it in like the
I
late
wouldn't be
1800s.
surprised.
Oh yeah,
and then the book, right? The classic, like the.
because I think that book was written probably what 1870s, 1880s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would guess to say you're right. So
In the Victorian era.
Rob, who's your Scrooge?
Mine is Bill Murray in Scrooged.
It's really good.
I fucking love that movie so much. I remember watching it. I was probably like 8 or 9, and I probably shouldn't have watched it, but my dad let me watch it because I like Bill Murray so much from Ghostbusters.
It was, what? Some of those shots
there's,
are scary.
And there's lots of F-bombs in it. I love that promo ad that they make
This
for it.
Christmas.
This Christmas.
With the tanks.
And they they
Acid
talk
rain.
about how an old lady died from a heart attack after watching the promo video, so they changed it. And he goes, and they show like the intro promo video, and he's like, "That's garbage. I had the boys on 17 make this," and they're just like, "What the fuck?"
this Christmas.
And it just, there's so many funny things in there. Like when he, the ghost of Christmas Past, when he goes back to his childhood and his dad shows up and he basically throws him like a piece of meat wrapped in butcher paper. He goes, "Here you go, kid.
Merry Christmas."
And Merry Christmas. It's like, fuck.
Or like his old boss who comes back and his eyeball like pops out of his head and just
Oh,
rolls,
well, 'cause he
rolls
was-
into his fucking
yeah.
glass of scotch.
Well,
that's right.
because he was golfing, right? Yeah. And
Oh.
yeah. Well, fuck, it's so good, man. It's awesome. And Bill Murray is like, that is Bill Murray being Bill Murray.
How about Bobcat Goldthwait?
Like he's the most Bill. Oh yeah, he's the most Bill Murray he's in any movie. I think in that movie,
I'm going to
he's
bet.
he's in his element there.
I'm going to bet that whenever they put him on screen in the script, it just said Bill Murray the shit out of this Bill Murray scene. Like
Totally.
there was no dialogue. It's improvise, have fun. Because it
it's
doesn't
just
feel.
great.
It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like us. It feels.
Bobcat's really good in it too. Like the executive that
Bobcat.
loses his shit and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god! And
Why are you doing Jar Jar Binks?
Because it's Bobcat. I'm actually doing. Jar Jar Binks is doing Bobcat. Don't do that. Don't.
He's a stupid. So I read this book.
That was a better Bobcat Goldthwait.
Okay.
So I read this book called Goodnight, Darth Vader to Lucy.
You've shown
fairly
it to us.
regularly.
It's a fucking adorable
And
book.
there's this one page where it says, it basically says when Jar Jar puts his pajamas on, he always bonks his head. It just makes me laugh.
All right. So
So
Bill
yeah,
Murray
so
is
that's mine.
Scrooge.
Bill Murray and Scrooge.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. That's
It's-
a gooder.
It's a super gooder because you know what? It takes a classic and adds a modern comedic twist to it,
Totally.
and it's well done.
And Bill Murray's like just his deadpanness at times, and oh fuck, yeah, his Bill Murray-ness.
Yeah.
He's a fucking genius.
he's just
And then the
being
funny
Bill
thing is,
Murray.
he did that movie, and then he actually had like a break for a long time. It's almost like he kind of disappeared because that movie didn't do that well, right?
No, it's a.
I think
flop.
people have now discovered how big of a genius Bill Murray is.
Exactly.
and his stuff is actually getting
And
better.
then
the
now.
resurgence
Yeah.
of the Murray.
And then he didn't do anything for a long time, and then it was kind of Rushmore that kind of brought him back.
Sure. Yeah. And that was his introduction to what's his face who made Rushmore. The
Jason Schwartzman.
no, the director who builds worlds.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who builds worlds?
What's his name?
James Cameron.
Well, it starts with a W.
Wes
Wes
Anderson.
Anderson. Thank you. That was his introduction to Wes Anderson. Was Rushmore. Thank you. We can edit that part out.
No, I want to leave it. It was great.
What's his name? You were just fucking baiting me the whole time. Okay. All right.
When I had COVID and I was sick in Mexico with COVID, I watched every Wes Anderson movie on Netflix.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
He's so
It
unique.
took me a couple of days because I kept falling asleep.
Do you get mixed up which one you're watching?
Is it
No, 'cause I
Darjeeling
know them
or
all.
Life Aquatic. Where am I?
I realized
am I in
how
the
much
desert or in the water?
I realized after that how much how good Royal Tenenbaums was because I hadn't seen that movie in so long.
I have to go back and watch that.
It's so good.
You will
It's
love it.
so clever and it has so many layers of hilarity.
It's even in the performance comedy of some of the scenes, like when him and Danny Glover go to fists in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's so funny, but it's like they're playing serious roles. They're both in love with the same woman, but yet when they fight, it's just fucking ridiculousness.
See, to me, the Darjeeling and like the Grand Budapest Hotel kind of like look sort of the same. Well, they all look Wes Anderson-y, but
The thing is though is like the Darjeeling is kind of like 60s, 70s, 80s. Whereas Royal Budapest is like 1930s, 1920s, 1910s.
Royal Budapest, you just hybrided it. I love it.
You know what
the
I'm
Royal
saying.
Budapest, the Royal
the
Budapest.
Grand Tannenbaum.
The Grand Tannenbaum. Fuck, these names all sound the same.
Rushmore
Mr.
Limited.
Fantastic Tannenbaum.
Turbo
Steve
Man.
Zissou.
Okay, all
Grand
right.
Budapest is fucking great.
Out of all of the Scrooges that have played on screen, and Michael Caine in A Muppet's Christmas Carol is probably one of the most brilliant.
He's the most classic of classic.
He is, and I really want to give this to him, but my mother would have a fit because every Christmas as a child, the VHS copy of A Christmas Carol starring Alistair Sims would come out. It's the old black and white that goes color at the end when everything changes.
Yeah.
And
Oh, look how happy I am.
right? But like he's so theater and so just such a I don't know, like you love him even though he's such a dick to everybody.
I feel like he does the biggest transformation as a Scrooge
to going from
because he's
to
a
like,
total
yeah.
dick to
Can I ask you a
I
question?
love everybody.
Can I ask you a question? Is that only because it goes from black and white to color?
It helps.
Can I throw something out here, though?
Sure.
When I was a kid, and every time I would watch A Christmas Carol, whatever rendition it was, maybe it was the animated, Disney version, it was, the Muppet version, it was that the original old school one. I always thought to myself, where the fuck did he find a store open on Christmas morning to buy all that shit?
When you're that rich, you can just open stores.
Yeah.
Well, it just shows you how shitty the 1890s were.
No days off. None whatsoever.
You will work every
Well, I
day
mean, that's
until you die.
That's the principle of the fucking movie. He doesn't.
We
give
need
his
more children to fit into these small machines.
If he doesn't give his employees a day off, he must know another fucking monger who he's gonna, have open his store and send his underling to go and open it and get him a turkey and all these presents. But yeah, it's prophetic. It's very theater. It's very over the top, and it is a huge transformation physically. Like his body changes and how and his eyebrows stop being so fucking like grouchy looking and ghost and turns into this beautiful old man that just wants to change everybody's day.
Isn't he basically like skipping around at the end of that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Willy Wonka. It's
He's
like
like
Grandpa
dancing.
in the bed. He just
I was
going
gonna say exactly.
It's just out of
Like
nowhere.
the dude who gets out of the bed. Yeah,
So-
Grandpa and Willy Wonka.
Alistair Sim is he's my Scrooge. Mark.
Who wears the best old timely pajamas out of any out of any Scrooge?
I'm trying to remember the pajamas.
Who's the one who had the most ridiculous nightshirt and sleeping hat?
The
Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey.
fucking,
Yeah.
the
And the really like prosthetics.
Yeah.
Really long face and
that saber of a chin.
Yeah.
It just came to a fucking point.
that one is very humorous. No, you know what? For me, it's probably just like the Disney Christmas Carol
Scrooge.
vibe, Scrooge McDuck kind of cartoon-ish. Scrooge he's so
Classic.
Scrooge. He is Scrooge. Like who else could be the better Scrooge?
What's your favorite scene? That my favorite scene is where they're cutting.
Where the paper thin slices of ham or the pea?
No, it's the pea.
pea.
It's the
Yes,
pea.
that's right. Cutting the one pea.
That always reminds me of
He
it.
did these paper thin slices. Yes.
Or the big giant who like sticks his eye through the little hole and then is just sitting there like sticks his hand with the plums and
And when I was a little kid, I was scared when they show the scene where Tiny Tim is like dead, and they're all like around like dun dun. And you're like, oh.
it really does take a slight dark turn at the end there. But he is Scrooge. He is.
I forgot about the pea. Now I can't get that.
You can't get it under your mouth. And it's like razor thin. He's like sharing it.
Yeah, and just
That's
so
how
happy.
poor they were, Mark.
right.
That's how poor they were.
That's a good one.
They, you know what? And it like
They were one step away from taking their shoe to boil it to make soup.
Exactly.
it's like Leonard Cohen's cover. Oh, how everybody covers Leonard Cohen's
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, right? It's like I don't know of another movie that's been made so many different times that people will still line up to see, right? Like I don't care about every other version besides the one I like, but I'll watch them because it's like, how are they doing the role? What are they adding to it that Michael
That's a
Caine
good
didn't?
point. It's a very classic story in that respect. I don't think there's another movie story that's been done this many ways.
What's the movie with like the ghosts of girlfriends past?
With
That Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
So I see what you're doing there.
Kind of a take on it, yeah.
That's a pretty big Venn diagram, but
Yeah.
that'll work.
It's kind of it's
The
very
girlfriends
similar.
of past teach him about
Yeah,
the future wife. Yeah,
exactly. It's the story of
Well, and it's that classic story too of like you can take it anywhere. It's someone realizing their past mistakes have jeopardized their future dreams, right?
Yes.
So going back and learning from and trying to change your ways and all that shit. All that Hallmark shit that we spend
How to
countless
be
dollars
present.
on every
Cratchit.
Bob Cratchit. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have some suggestions that you should watch that we think you would enjoy. You have our representation of Scrooge, our favorite Christmas specials, and what family Mark would trade for in a minute. If he
Hey,
had
you know
the
what?
opportunity.
Before
I would trade for Fiji.
How about before we sign off,
Yeah.
why don't we just say with like the hype that we read about 2023, maybe some trailers, why don't we throw out one movie that each of us is most excited as of right now that's coming out next year?
I think you go first. It's a perfect idea.
Mine's Oppenheimer.
Ooh.
I gotta think of something else now. What is it that's driving you to that movie so much? Is it
Can
because?
I say?
Go ahead.
I mean, it's Christopher Nolan. I love everything to do with the Manhattan Project. I think it's so fucking amazing that was this crazy top secret program that they'd spent more money on it than anything up to that point, and so few people
$2
knew
billion at the time.
so few people knew that it was able, and that's why people say, "Oh, there's no way they could have kept a secret, like the conspiracy of 9/11." I'm like,
no, it can be done.
No, it can be done. It
Well,
absolutely
that's
can.
because Leslie Graves, I can't remember his name, who Matt Damon's playing in the film, who Paul Newman played. Have you seen Fat Man, Little Boy?
I have.
Oh, it's so good.
Super good.
So good.
It's been a long time. I haven't
yeah.
seen it since I was like probably 10. But yeah.
But
I'm excited to see his variation, his on it. I love Cillian Murphy, and I'm excited to see him in a lead in a movie like this. I haven't seen him in a lead in a while. He's always kind of like a really strong assist, and so I'm stoked.
Just for the sake of saying something different, but I want to see it for the same reasons you do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is one of the most. It is. They didn't know if they were going to unfold time that day when they launched that thing.
Dude,
no one knew anything.
There were so many unknowns. That you also had the brightest of the brightest minds contributing to this, and maybe not directly, but they would like go, So I'm curious how they're going to like tie all this stuff in. I'm fascinated.
I want to see his manipulation of time with it, which I think will be making the bomb, launching the bomb, and then the press conference. And
Christopher Nolan focuses on time dilation in his movies.
Tad, from
hang on, you don't say
from time to time, but
it's almost like he had a moment that he like went back
and lives by some sort of tenets when he makes his films. So
that's very prestigious of you.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
I wonder how it will. I can't figure out how to put Interstellar into this. I'm going to shut up. But I want to see that, and I also
should Interstellar shoot for the moon, and hopefully the Dark Knight will be there when Batman begins.
Okay. I also want to see how he made, and I don't know if you've read this, but he figured out how to make an atomic blast on camera. In camera, there's no CGI.
Oh, cool!
So they did something.
That's cool.
Which is interesting because that's how the guys in Los Alamos would have done it. They would have been like, "Let's just mock it up, keep figuring it out, think outside the box." But I wonder if he'll compartmentalize the film, because what's so interesting about the Manhattan Project historically is it was one of the first times that the military realized that if you tell this scientist to only do this job and you tell him none of the outside things that are going on in every other room, then you can keep a secret, because this guy only knows propulsion, and this guy over here knows acceleration, and this guy over here knows flight dynamics. So if you're trying to build a secret plane, you don't tell them you're building a plane.
That's how you reverse engineer a UFO.
Exactly. We watch a lot of the same shows. So that was the first time that they started using that. So it would be interesting to see. Too much. We are never coming back from this. But
have you guys listened to half the podcast out there? We're fine.
Yeah, no, we're definitely fine. What
are you looking forward to, Mike?
Well, what's another movie that you want to go see that you're excited to see?
I'm looking here at everything.
I got two for completely
Mark, go
different
first,
reasons.
because I don't.
Transformers.
I got Transformers. 100% Rise of the Beast. It's just got me. Like, I couldn't care about the last three Transformer movies, probably. But this one has me super fucking excited.
Yeah.
It takes place in like 1992. Like it's
does it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like in the early 90s.
I like that Jazz is actually the right vehicle.
It's Mirage.
Oh, Mirage. Sorry, did I say Jazz?
Jazz was a Porsche.
You notice I
That's
shut
the
up while he
difference,
started
though.
talking about this stuff?
Mirage was actually an F1 car in first gen.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go on.
But Jazz was the Porsche, so you
Yeah.
kind of got it right.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's Mirage.
Do you think Dinobots are going to be in it?
Yeah, I hope, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I hope
No,
so.
hang on.
But you're gonna have Optimus Primal, and
Yeah, it
there's
looks
some pretty cool.
I was when you guys were talking about it on our WhatsApp chat, I was like, fuck Transformers. And then I actually sat and I watched the trailer and I was like, holy fuck, this actually like I'm excited.
Bumblebee was excellent, and this is a continuation of the Bumblebee world.
Again,
Right?
not seen.
Okay, good.
Bumblebee was awesome.
So I need to watch Bumblebee.
John Cena,
Yes.
Bumblebee, right?
Yes.
And who
Is
think
Mark
so.
Wahlberg in it?
No.
Thank God.
But you know who's the voice of Mirage?
Who?
Pete Davidson.
Fucking awesome.
Yes, please.
So I'm wondering how many like Gen 1 Transformers we're going to see. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm excited about it. I found Bumblebee was more about the story and less about just like CG porn of Transformers fighting. And that's what I wanted. So yeah, super looking forward to Transformers. I just want to geek out and live with the nostalgia. And then John Wick 4 is coming out, which John Wick 3 should have been.
You think they're stretching?
Yeah. I want way less dogs biting people's balls for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but Halle Berry was so badass. I get it. It went long. You're right.
You know, they train dogs to do some cool shit, and they just went way too long on the dogs doing cool shit.
they had to
And then
paid for
honorable mention that I'm going to watch just for
Cocaine
the sheer
Bear.
shot is Cocaine Bear. Just for the sheer... The sheer spectacle of it is fucking Cocaine Bear. Elizabeth Banks?
She's directing
Seriously?
it. She's directing it.
I know.
She directed it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't even know that.
And Ryan, what's his face from Party Down in Severance?
Oh, it looks amazing.
What's his face? The lead character in
Fuck, there's
Severance.
so many good movies coming out next year.
I got a couple here. Okay, so first up, Dune 2, Dune Squared. I've realized that Denis Villeneuve is easily my top 3. Like I put him and Nolan in the same.
I'd say he's
Same lane.
I'd say he's as good as Spielberg.
It's his cinematography and the fact that you can tell that this guy came from pulling lenses before he became a director, because what he puts on screen, like with
He's David Fincher-esque in that.
like it's just fucking beautiful.
He knows how to set up a shot.
and they're big and they're extravagant and they're just
You
these-
also can't watch his movies on a shitty TV.
no. It's a theater only. Theater only or good TV. It's you.
It's totally true.
Like more than James Cameron?
Yes, because the movies are so fucking dark. Like Arrival, you like if your TV is not a good TV, it's super hard.
No,
to
but I was
see.
going to say grand scale
Yeah.
CG shit. That's Cameron territory.
I put him in the same ballpark as Cameron. He
for
can
sure.
he can definitely pull off some insane stunts.
I feel like he can do both. He can do the grand scale stuff like a Ridley
Prisoners?
Scott, or he can do something like Prisoners, which is fucking so good.
right? There's no
Hugh
grand
Jackman
scale
is
in
so
it.
good in that.
It's just a broken father looking for his daughter, and
And
then
so
you
is who isn't Jake Gyllenhaal in there?
yeah he's the
Do you know
cop.
that's actually the proper name?
Gyllenhaal?
Gyllenhaal is the proper way
Are
to
they
pronounce his
Dutch?
last name. I think it's Swedish.
Swedish.
So Dune 2, just because we know what we know about all the other Dunes.
Dude, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
It's right where the battle starts, where the army, where everybody turns on each other, and we
Dude,
like
the
everything they set up in the first
you're
one.
gonna
Like
it's gonna explore all the coolness of the Fremen society, and it's just gonna get so good.
yeah, I want to be on planet. I want to see how they live in that desert. I want more of that, and just the fact that like he knew how much cheese Finch put into his original, and how hard he tried to stay true to that without the campiness. Right?
I haven't
Like,
seen New Dune. I've only seen the original.
Oh, you really gotta
Make sure you see it. It's
watch
good.
it. It's
The good thing is you can wait now and watch it like just before going to see
Yeah.
the second one.
yeah. Just don't go without seeing it. And then the
Well,
series,
no, you have to see it.
There's a series coming out, Dune: The Sisters of something or other. I can't remember the title of it.
Oh, cool.
But that's gonna complement what's going on. Like it's stepping outside of film, but it's staying inside of canon. Like it's just
Duneverse?
You know, when I look at all the movies that are coming in 2023, it's almost like we had like a pandemic or something, and like people couldn't go to the theater.
no kidding.
Quantum Mania is going to be good too, but I mean, it's just
It's gonna be good.
I didn't want to go dipping into the Marvel.
So you know what? The Marvels is probably gonna be pretty good too. Guardians is gonna be fucking amazing.
Honorable mention. I'm looking.
The new Wonka movie looks
That's what I
fucking
was just
sick.
about to say. I'm looking forward to Chalamet as Wonka. That is ballsy as fuck. Gene Wilder put so much into that character. Like,
But isn't this a prequel?
it is a younger Wonka.
Yeah.
But to touch Wonka, like to give it, whether we have a 60-year-old Wonka or a 20-year-old Wonka, it's still the weirdness of Wonka that I feel is a risk. And Depp did it justice, even though a lot of people don't like the Burton
Depp did
remake.
it great.
Depp did a good job at
he was
Wonka.
too fucking creepy.
Oh, I loved it.
That was kind of the point, though.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I like
they
I
don't-
like
but
my
that's
original
that's
Wonka.
That's
better.
Tim
All right,
Burton
all right.
putting like that spin on Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
Hang on here with me for 1 second. You know
Because
the
Roald Dahl books are fucking fucked up.
You know the story about
Like think about the witch's story.
Wilder walking out in the role. Have you heard that story?
No, I haven't.
So rumor goes that he was trying to figure out how to show, not tell, that you couldn't trust him. So brings out the cane, does the limp, drops the cane, does the roll, pops up and goes, ta-da. That is one of the perfect show don't tells in cinema history, where you now understand this is not who you're dealing with. And how you don't know. And that's when the movie takes off and you start to learn. So that's the kind of stuff I want to see from Chalamet is are you going to give it the Wilder treatment where you keep us guessing and your weirdness is charming, yet
Who directed it?
I just felt like Wilder, he played the quirkiness and weirdness, but I always got the
But
feeling...
it's also a musical.
I got the feeling that Depp knew that the children were dying and didn't care.
Everything in this room is eatable. I mean,
Yeah,
eatable,
because he
except you.
was always kind of like,
Yeah.
Paul King is the director.
I don't know who that.
I'll
what he
take
is.
a look. What else? Paul
Can I
King
also
is
say something? Like, is nobody excited about the new Indiana Jones? Like, the trailer actually
I'm not
looks
super excited,
good.
but
I'm okay. Hang on here. Paddington and Paddington 2 is Paul King's resume. So the guy who did Paddington is doing Wonka. That's going to be fun.
I haven't seen those two movies.
Oh, you need to see Paddington 2. It knocked fucking the perfect movie off of Citizen Kane. Paddington 2 beat Citizen Kane. We had a debate about this.
I
this
heard
year,
that.
right?
The perfect ranking on Rotten Tomatoes.
There's also
Yeah.
a new Dungeons and Dragons movie coming.
I was going to mention that, but I didn't know how you'd feel because I know you're a big Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, Chris
fan.
Pine's in it.
He plays the Baird.
The Bard.
Is it the Bard?
It's a Bard.
That's why I'm afraid to play Dungeons and Dragons with you. I'll just call everything by the wrong name.
Well, it's literally spelled B-A-R-D.
Oh, on some we're just talking about all these things that are happening. On some local news, right this afternoon, I heard it's been leaked from a pretty reputable source that Anna Paquin's coming back as Rogue in Deadpool 3. Come on.
That's fucking crazy.
Right? She's going to reprise her role from the original X-Men series. She's only did a cameo in Days of Future Past, but she's going to be back as Rogue, mixed in with the time jumping fucking whatever it's going to be.
The time jumping buddy comedy.
Yeah, Jackman's already admitted that there is time travel, and we know it's going to be involving the TVA somehow. But
You can't have X-Men.
but Anna Paquin is going to be back as Rogue, so that's pretty cool.
That makes so much sense. That's so easy to do. It's just like that universe 20 years later.
I really need to
very
see
easy.
Rogue, though, where she's stolen Mrs. Marvel's powers and she can fly and super strong.
And she
Amen.
goes binary.
Everything's
Sure. I mean, it's 2022, so okay.
You know what binary is, don't you?
No.
That's Captain Marvel's like superior form, where she's basically just glowing energy and can do anything. It's known as binary.
yeah, not binary as in
She goes binary.
yeah, not
That's where she like flies
Not
through
pronoun binary.
Basically, when she remember when she flies through Thanos' ships and destroys like everything in a fucking second.
Yes.
Yeah, that's binary.
yeah. She's just ones and twos at that point, right?
Yeah.
It's not non-binary?
Ones and twos or zeros and ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
What if it's 2022? No, not that kind of binary. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, no, John Wick 2. We have to go see. I think we all need to go see John. You've seen
John
all the
Wick
John Wicks?
4.
I've seen...
We're gonna go
I've
John
s-
Wick as well. Sorry,
I've seen 1 and 2.
you've seen one. Okay, watch 3 and then we'll go see.
You know
4.
what I love is because there's the story in the background of the Continental and the
Yeah.
table and that all
And all the
is-
gold
Yes,
and, yeah.
it's fascinating.
I hope the ballerina really brings that into the show.
Yes, and I'm hoping that that's what it's going to be. Is a lot of the lore that's behind.
I still love the scene where he pulls back the rug in the basement and pulls out the pickaxe and just starts pecking away
Gold
at the fucking
coins.
concrete. And you're just like, what's in
What
here?
the fuck is going on? And then how like people show up and he just like whips a coin out. They're like, "Oh, can I have dinner for what is he? Dinner for 12 or whatever he fucking calls."
Or like, can you send something up to my room and it's
Yeah.
a fucking bottle of Pappy Van Winkle for like 4 gold coins? Holy shit, that's not cheap booze. Yeah, John Wick. I can't wait for the close. I can't wait to see what he sacrifices to get either his old life back or to give someone else a new. I think he's going to give someone a new life. I think he'll sacrifice himself so someone can have the life he didn't have.
Is
That's
he going to
my-
get a new puppy?
That's all you're waiting for?
No, he's going to become a cat person.
That would be amazing that they give him a fucking a hairless cat in the end.
Oh, there you go.
And he walks off into the sunset.
No, but I think there's so much story there aside from the cool fighting and stuff that they have to play out of that world. It's pretty cool.
I couldn't agree with you more. And we got to, we're in for a treat. 2023, like you said, Rob, like a lot of stuff is getting out of the chamber that's been kept for years because of COVID. So
Dude, there's Star Trek 4 is coming. It's
It's going to be a big year.
Like there's
the
so
day
much.
the day
Isn't
that,
there a new Joker, like the sequel to Joker is coming?
yeah,
or is that
Lady
2024?
Lady Gaga's play on Harley Quinn. which is-
Equalizer 3 is coming. Expendables 4.
Yeah, there's
It's pretty
lots.
crazy. There's lots of stuff coming out.
It's It's a good time to be
Lots
alive.
of blockbuster stuff.
Craven
it
the
seems.
Hunter's coming?
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson playing Craven the Hunter. Actually,
I heard that he might be the next James Bond.
So I read this too. This is what they do. Barbara Broccoli calls you and brings you wherever she wants you to be, which I imagine is either London or somewhere in LA. And she shows up and she's like, put the tux on, and they make you put the tux on, and then they make you come out, and then they make you like do scene work. Like that is the
Fast and Furious 10.
but it's what it is it's like her kind of doing a cattle call, I guess, and putting the actor in the environment to be like, are you like she makes the final decision on how believable you are as Bond. Are you charming enough?
So
are you dark enough?
who are the top 3 guys now? Who's it down to?
I know it being Aaron Taylor Johnson as the most recent. Nobody else has popped up since. Usually when someone says one name, like 2 or 3 other names pop up online.
Is Idris Elba still in contention?
People want Idris Elba. I want Idris Elba. I think he'd be a perfect fucking Bond. It's the age problem. Their physical, real-life age doesn't allow them to have the 15-year contract.
Yeah.
So you've got to go after a 30-year-old actor.
So why don't they just make it an 8-year contract? You do 3 films.
Well, that's also part of the negotiation,
With an
I
option
imagine.
an option to extend. And let's be honest.
That's what they did with Craig. They just kept extending him out.
Let's be honest. Like when Sean Connery came back and did the Bond and was it 84, 85 to Russia with Love, right? Was that the one?
Oh, you know more
I don't
than
remember
do.
which
Like
one.
the one
but
where
she's
he's
the
like all
oldest
silver
one.
haired and stuff like that and has the beard in it. That Bond? That was fucking awesome. He was an older Bond. He was in his 50s.
Older Bond is still good.
Fucking
There's-
super good.
Yeah, but they want to watch the progression, I think.
Okay.
Right?
I'd like to see some diversity in Bond just because to give us
So
something
would I.
different.
So would I. It would be lovely to see, like. That's the thing. It's the
Binary?
It's
What about an Indian Bond?
Asian Bond, Black Bond.
Hey, Camille Nanjiani.
please. Right?
Fuck, he'd be so funny. The problem is
Filipino
that
Bond. Joy Coy is Filipino Bond.
too old.
Right? No,
late
you're
40s,
right.
late 40s.
But like, it's. I think that's the only thing.
I think
So-
you need somebody mid to late 30s, right?
Unfortunately, because he's already done the Gentleman or whatever, like Taron Egerton would be great as Bond, but I think he's
Yeah.
already done a Bond-esque
Ah,
character.
but here's the thing.
not gentlemen. You mean
Who was Remington Steele?
Pierce Brosnan?
Pierce Brosnan.
And then he got
that's true.
Bond. They're
And he
kinda
was
related, kinda-
Thomas Crown, which is very Bond-esque
This is
also.
so Bond adjacent.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
maybe why not?
That's
no, what
true.
are you thinking of? The Gentleman is the Guy Ritchie film.
No,
we're thinking
no,
of.
not the Gentleman. But although Taron Egerton could have
You're
been in the
talking
Gentleman
about
because there's so many.
the Golden Circle movies.
Yes.
Not Golden
What
Compass.
the fuck is it called?
Golden
Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
Yes,
And there's men in there somewhere.
Kingsman is the one with.
You know,
Eger-
that's
yeah,
a series that was really like had so much potential and is just kind of what
I liked it still.
I still like it.
I still like it too. I think it's super fun, but I feel like
That
it's
opening scene
kinda
in the
lost.
first one is fucking insane.
Manners
Matters maketh the man.
And just watching him kick so much fucking ass.
But anyway, he'd be a great Bond in my.
Yeah. No, it's 007. It's
But you can't have 2 blonde Bonds in a row.
Ooh.
Haha.
It'd be too hard to say.
Because remember when Daniel Craig became Bond, everyone was like, blonde Bond. That was the big deal. It wasn't like, he's black.
What
It's,
about-
he's blonde?
Come with me here. Tom Holland is Bond.
Too small.
He's too small.
I don't know.
I would love Tom Hardy, but he's too old now too, I think. Because he's 44.
Tom Hardy
Hardy,
in
yeah.
everything.
Tom Hardy literally in
Tom Hardy
fucking
is the
everything.
new Wolverine. Tom Hardy is
Totally.
Bond.
Totally.
Just give me more Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy for Black Panther.
Sure.
Tom Hardy as
Don't really want
Doctor
to
Doom.
touch that one.
Tom
You know what? I was
Dr.
watching-
Doom. That would be fun.
I was watching when Robert Downey Jr. was on Joe Rogan and they were talking about
Iron Man.
They were talking about Tropic Thunder.
Oh,
and like,
yes,
could this
they
movie
were.
be made again? And they were talking about it, and Robert Downey Jr. reminisced. And he goes, you know, it's funny. He goes, I was literally like portraying a black guy and was wearing blackface, and I took the least amount of flack because it was actually Ben Stiller doing Simple Jack that took the most that caused the most controversy. You never go full.
And then but like he talks about it and Rogan says to him, he goes, do you eat shit for this? He's like, no, they joke with me all the time. Like, he's like, I was out with Jamie Foxx one night and he was like, even the white guy's taking all the black roles. Right? Like, it's so weird that that's where the anger went.
But the funniest thing about that movie is that it was a complete parody on everything. So that
it was making fun
allowed
of the idiot
pass.
actor being
Correct.
an idiot.
Correct.
It
Or
was
the
not-
guy that took himself so serious that he would do something like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It never made fun of the issue. It made
Yeah.
fun of the idiot, which is... Yeah.
But that movie would not be made today,
No.
and it was in a perfect niche of when that happened.
We have a lovely episode planned for 2023 where we talk about
White
these-
girls, though, completely okay.
Yeah. Oh, right. Give me more. Give me White Girls 2. Give me White Girls 2, please. Please.
Nobody talking about white girls.
I don't want to wait for our life to be over.
This is my jam. Running away downtown.
Fucking fast. Fuck.
Yeah, nobody got mad at Tootsie.
Right? Like, there's so many.
Yeah.
I have an episode planned for us, 80s, 90s, and 2000s movies that could not be made today.
Okay.
And we will review them, and we will see what is wrong
Oh
with them through
man,
our eye.
that's gonna be great.
That's going to be
Almost
fun.
everything.
Oh, yeah. The list is long, and it will be fast. So there you go. Yeah, I think great. You want to end? You want to go home? Let's go home.
Yeah,
I think movies are coming back.
Yeah.
That's my call for 2023.
Big movies.
Theaters are opening, like even Winnipeg here, right? The new Transcona Theater's opening.
Right? Have you
yeah,
seen it
KP
yet?
there looks pretty
Right?
dope.
Like I think theaters are going to come back this year for some reason.
I couldn't agree with you more, actually.
Yeah, and
The-
I hope
the
I
pop.
hope my AMC stock goes up.
I think everybody who played that game once.
Ape stock bullshit.
Fucking,
To the moon.
fucking Reddit stock trader
Oh
bullshit.
fuck! I should. And I told myself at one point, I was like, okay, you know what? It's here. I'm gonna make a few bucks. Let's just sell this and I can put it in something else.
Like-
and then I was like, maybe I'll wait. And then it went down. I was like, uh oh. And then I was like, uh oh. And I was like, oh fuck.
Can I just, like, we all...
Now it's a 20-year hold.
20-year-old.
But, like, you all knew the game you were playing against the assholes, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I understand that it was fun to play. But eventually they had more money. So eventually it was just, like, you guys were always going to be
You know what,
holding
man?
the bag.
Honestly, at the end of the day, too many people dumped it, and the reality is, AMC has strong fundamentals, and the stock will come back.
Oh, of course. But, I mean, a pump and dump. That
Did you
blatantly
see?
and
Did you
obvious-
see how many awesome movies are coming out this year?
Yeah, AMC's fine.
AMC's
They're fine. They're
AMC's
fine.
GameStop, on the other hand.
There's a bagel joint where the one used to be up the street. So I don't know what that tells you.
going
Well,
the way of
that's
Blockbuster.
because they open like every city needs 12 GameStops. You're like, do they?
How many people are going to be buying Minecraft in hard copy? Everyone buys their games online now. Like,
Yeah.
the online stores killed GameStop. Never mind the pump and dump on the fucking stock market. Besides that, no new shit to talk about for you guys as soon as the next show comes up, which the next show will feature Rob, Mark, me, and Ian. Actually, so yeah, that'll be. I wanted to test it with small groups and see, and then we'll rotate everybody in and out. So stay tuned for that. How you do that? You subscribe to the show, which is free, and then you subscribe to our online social platforms, which is also free. All the shit's free. Stay in the know. You want to come have a good time with us? You want to laugh at me? You want to
Unless
laugh
you
at
want
the
a real
guys?
debater skateboard.
Yeah, which the shipping on that worth more than the skateboard. Mark found that out the hard way. So we're still working. Maybe 2023 will be the year of the fucking merch shop that
That's
doesn't.
possible.
It won't get deleted. The shipping charges won't be stupid. It won't get across the border, and you have to pay double duty. We'll figure
What if
something out.
what if we just ordered our own merch and then you shipped it?
I don't want that much responsibility. I love the listener, but not that much. I want an online store with cheap prices and cheap freight so that everybody has access.
But they want something that has been hand packaged by the Michael Petrow.
No, they don't.
Michael S. Petrow.
Oh, shit. Yeah, there it is.
Esquire.
Sounds so good, right? All right. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed another episode from the Real Debaters podcast. I've been Michael S. Petrow.
I'm Corbin Dallas.
Mark Cowell.
And,
Esquire.
Esquire. There you go. Watch all the movies, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And,
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, and
We're in the midst of Hanukkah right now. So.
we're in the this is the middle of the Christmas week, so yeah, whatever.
I don't know how many nights of Hanukkah are there?
Eight crazy.
I think we're like 4 right now. Maybe.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
happy Hanukkah! Smoke your
8 crazy nights.
marijuana.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's right.
Drink your gin and tonica, and have a
Smoke your marijuana.
happy Hanukkah. Watch all the movies, kids. Say bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.
Farewell fair Spanish ladies.